Don't start shit if you ain't ready to get hit.
Or allow me to drop some knowledge.
You have to disagree. I saw that Sailor Moon outfit.
Buenos dias.
Hey, boo.
Hi, honey.
Just trying to get these guys in here.
Oh, I got a pencil in my head too.
Oh, 1 second. Hi.
Hello.
Hey. I gotta go outside to the back because everybody's doing something inside the house. ¿Qué carajo todo esto, Dios mío? Anyway, hi.
Hello.
What's up, cuz? Everybody?
Hello, hello. Good afternoon.
What's up with connection? What's going on, man?
Well, that's because everybody's is all at once and nobody. It's funny.
All right, Chris? Every
Freaking
time.
internet.
It's not Florida connection. What's
Yeah,
up?
Florida connection.
Right.
It's not my fault.
All the females got dope connections. He sucks. What's going on?
I feel
You're
that.
in a good spot.
It's the Florida connection.
Let me lower the light.
I feel bad because we can't hear nothing he's saying.
Oh, yeah. Time
I
away.
don't know why. What's going on?
Why he gonna settle?
All right.
Yeah, I can.
Listen, sir, find a dope ass spot and stand like a statue. Listen, figure it out.
Hands up. Just chill.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Barely.
Y'all can hear me?
I don't know why you asked me to come on this thing, cause you know I'm wild.
I love it. Just be yourself. I love you. While Chris gets it together, I'm just gonna, introduce what's up, my BMF army. I hope you all are being kind and compassionate, Padawans to sign neighbors, and you already know. I hope you are all doing well during this crazy time of the century.
For what building?
Tonight's gonna be more of a serious.
All right, that's gonna be the blue stop building. Stop sign. You can't.
Sir, we gonna need you to mute yourself. Something. Work it out.
Tonight we're gonna be more on a serious, somber note, but we need to talk about serious issues that matter sometimes. The recent school shootings in Texas and everything surrounding that chronic problem in today's society. I'm joined by three of my favorite co-hosts. Well, actually, Bianni, she's new. Welcome, Bianni.
Hey, everybody.
Chris is still frozen. And Yadiera, she hasn't been here for a while, but what's up, girl? You look good.
What up, mama?
Oh,
Just chilling in a nice corner in Jersey.
Comfortability. She looking good. Go ahead.
so these guys, they're, oh my God. Hold
He
on.
was like,
I'll send him a request and when he's ready.
Oh, technology.
that word.
All that says is don't move toward him. Okay.
Maybe he's like towards the end of like his, what's that called? That data or whatever thing or however. Maybe he's like
The
towards
data
the end of
plan?
his, yeah. Cause like I just paid my bill, so I got fresh new internet. Like, listen, my shit's just running. We're good.
I got that military connection over here.
Yeah.
Yo.
Sorry,
So,
sorry. Okay.
no, you're good. So Yadi, Bianni, and Chris are actually parents. They could definitely. I definitely wanted to get that parental perspective. I'm not a parent, so I'm definitely gonna speak in general about my opinion. Um,
Well, this affects everyone, not just the kids. It's, you hear it in the news, you hear it.
Of course. And bullets have no name. So whether you're a parent or not, that could hit anyone close to family. That could hit a sister. That could hit a, what I'm saying, anything. It could hit a friend. It could hit whatever. So parent or not, it's just the fact that it affects all of us. Anybody that's connected or that could possibly be for the next, the fear that we all have of what's going to happen in this school where my kid goes to. Because we all worry. We all try to put our kids in like the dopest schools, the best one, or even if we don't do that, but into public schools or anything that we at least were comfortable with or whatever. But we fail to realize these new generations now, they don't have hands.
right.
They pick up guns. See, I grew up where you had to have hands, you know what I'm saying? And you live to fight another day. They don't got that here. Over here it's like, it's pop first, ask questions later. And I'm like, okay.
Well, it's also the
know.
accessibility too, of all that, the weapons and all that other stuff. So I'm a military spouse, so we're on base. So I live in the suburban world where you hear all that craziness happen in these very big high schools. My son is about to go into my middle son's high school. So it's in West Bubble,
Okay.
in the
Right,
boonies.
don't say nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? Like I'm in that suburban kind of area that you hear about, like all the kids, they talk to the kids pretty often. Like I have to say, like in the high schools and in any middle schools, when there are tragedies like that, there's always a moment of silence for these kids. And that's where, as a parent, we worry about our children. We send them off and just pray to God that they come back in one piece, right?
Yeah.
And that's the faith that we have, like in the school system, in the security system. Because let me tell you something, I can't just pop into my son's school without a pass, without
You
an
better than me
appointment.
because I pop in. Don't. I'm a mom here, and I don't care what y'all little disclosure is and whatever. Yes, it's nice for safety. Okay, but when it comes to mine, I'm D-boying all up in this school. Play with me. See, so
No, of course, the involvement. Yeah, the involvement. But what I'm saying is,
I
as
think
far
we
as
need
security,
more of what the school asks for.
yeah,
I know what she means. I'm just me.
it's just
I'm
like
just.
when we were kids. Come on, let's face it. When I was a kid in high school, we didn't have the security that they have now. My high school didn't even have metal detectors. Now they have metal detectors. They got cops outside. They got, you
Yeah,
name
we
it. They
still
got.
don't got that. We still don't got that. We got that in some areas here, but like I stay in the hood. So in the hood, we believe, and that's in every generation that's grown up, it's still the same damn way. You would think it'd change, but it's not.
You
We
know.
still believe it takes a village. It takes a
Yeah.
village.
Mhm.
So in the
Absolutely.
hood, we ain't got it like that. Like you would think, like they would put them in the hood because that's where it's known to be more predominant, whatever. But no, we have each other, and and it's almost neighborhood watch without having a neighborhood watch. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows each other, and real quick, it'll be
Oh,
like we're very connected. I'm connected to my my kids' friends. As weird as that sounds, why do you have your kid's friend's number? Because I wish a bitch would.
Bianni,
You
tell
know?
everybody a little bit about you, where you're from, because you didn't even get to introduce yourself.
Well, who, me?
Yeah.
Well, I don't like to disclose exactly certain locations. I'm going to say I'm in Michigan.
Yeah.
Because you don't know, we're on social media, and all a person needs to know is, oh, they're in this area at this point, and
Oh,
no.
of course not.
No.
Absolutely.
But I'm in Michigan. I can even say the city because My name on here ain't really my name, so I'm in GR. We call it the Murder Man. We're over here. So yeah, so that's where we're at. You know what I'm saying? And I moved from a more what's it called, stereotype of a hood to a more suburban type of a hood, but still it's still hood all the way. Like, so things are still the same, and kids out here, thank God, around this area, they don't pack and carry. They just always have it at disposal. So they're smart enough to not pack and carry because common sense. You're still a kid. Don't be stupid. Being caught with that shit, because then you ruin your life for life. Just having one in possession. But the smart thing about these kids out here is if it's life or death, baby, it's you before me. And we always have one somewhere, somehow, some way. And I don't want the kids to have to go to that length first, but best believe weapons are supposed to be meant as a self-defense, and that's at the last resort worth of that. So at least over here we have that mind frame. It's not the first time. It's not pop shoot later, but in some places out here is exactly what it is, because we have a lot of gangs. We have a lot of gangs. We have a lot of kids that think they're in gangs and they're in these weird invented ones. Lord, why is that a thing now? I'm sorry.
We want there where we want to fit in, and it's part of the group.
He's messing me up. He's messing me up. I can't hear you. He's messing me up.
He's trying. I said I can understand where kids at that age want to fit in, and so they create these groups and think that they're cool when really they don't need a group. Which some tend to widen as they get older, and learn that they don't need that.
Right.
I'm just.
I live in a suburban area, right? A very suburban area. We got cornfields, and not for nothing, if you look at the news, the stuff that's happening are in these type of areas, like big high schools and Timbuktu areas where it's supposedly quiet. I'm in a military state. I'm in a military family. So you would think we're more educated, but like I said, the education starts at home.
Yeah.
So that's where I see, and it saddens me with these kids, is that they're not educated. They're not educated about guns. They're not educated about, like you said, using these goes a lot longer.
A long way.
Yes.
A long way. And you live to fight another day if need
absolutely.
be.
I think we've talked about bullying before. Like, it's a real thing, and how it starts at home. I have my last one here. I have a 22-year-old. I have a 17-year-old who's in the Army now. He just joined. So, like I said, I'm on both ends. You understand? I'm not anti-gun, but I'm also very pro-education, because that's where it starts. It starts at home. It doesn't start like, let them learn from, Fulana and Fulano from school, and let them teach them, oh, well, if your parents don't like it, this is where you could handle it. You don't like that bully? Well, we could end it. No.
Yeah.
I miss the old school. You know what? Meet me 3 o'clock outside. I'll beat your ass. And that's it. That's not happening no more. There's no vocal communication.
Right, but but like you said, it's all about start from home. Because my kids, they know about guns. They're very well adept when it comes to handling, cleaning, knowing how to position, all this stuff. They know all the things, you know what I'm saying? So they're very smart. The gun is last to nothing of the end result. That you start with everything first. Talk is cheap. Run your mouth all damn day. If that's the case, just run that damn mouth. And if somebody puts your hands on you, then you ain't started, but you finished that shit with your head. You know what I'm saying?
You can't handle that, and I wouldn't know, man, because if you take me there, my mouth will make you either want to fuck my ass up or fucking kill yourself.
Something.
You got a room key or parking pass?
Commenting on
Chris, mute your thing.
Oh, wait, he might have service.
Oh, Charlotte? What's first
You
name?
get it there.
He having full conversations and shit that has nothing to do with us. Sir.
I'm gonna drop a little knowledge real quick. This brief history on violent crime in the United States from 1891. These started in the 1800s. I was actually really curious as to how far school shootings actually went, because I thought it only existed in my lifetime, but it actually goes back to the 1800s, which is crazy. And it's not always a disgruntled student. It happened just like I read one story. It was a grown man who came and shot a school. This is in the 1800s. He shot a school and teachers and shit. It's insane. So, particularly why mass shootings happen through an examination of past mass shootings. It also aims to allow us to learn about how mass shooting incidents such as the Tower shooting of 1966 are remembered but also forgotten. And this is how this remembrance and forgetting how come to shape our perception of the continuity of these mass shootings in history of the United States, particularly before 1966. In order to comprehend the extent of Columbine, Charleston, Sandy Hook, Virginia Tech, and other mass shootings of today, however, we must examine those that happened in the past and see how, if any of these historical occurrences have shaped how we understand what's going on. The mass shootings and violent crimes that we witness today, particularly those that happen on state property, are those related to military or ex-military personnel, are seldom a reflection of today's generation.
Cuz, address your boy, man, because he's making it so that we can't hear you. That he needs to like mute his thing, so that way we can hear you.
Can you hear us, Ben?
You can hear me?
We can hear you, but your background noise and things that are going on.
I'm at
making it so
work.
that we can't hear you.
I'm at work. I'm sorry, but I'm at work. So that's why I got the call. I'm at work. I'm currently outside. I do security outside.
You're fine.
So I'll mute it when the car.
Yeah, that's all we were asking was just mute the mic real quick so we could hear her.
I got you, Michigan.
Thank you, baby. I like it.
I'm sorry. Give me a second. I lost my spot.
Sorry, cuz. There we go. Some light. Where the hell? I don't know where to put my phone. Guess
I have it in my stand.
See, I saw she got like a ring light and everything. She all professional. I got my hand. Okay, I just hold this thing.
So we're gonna take it to the Uvalde incident in Texas. The 18-year-old who massacred 19 students and 2 teachers, 21 in total, in Uvalde on May 24th had no experience with firearms before his rampage began. He targeted an elementary school. It was K through 12, actually. He was still attending the school. I think he had recently dropped out. With an active shooter policy that had been deemed adequate but had a long history of doors propped open. No one was able to stop the gunman from carrying out the deadliest school shooting in Texas history, in part because of systematic failures, egregious, poor decision-making by nearly everyone involved who was in a position of power. A new investigation into the shooting found it had to do with the law enforcement not responding correctly. There was over almost 400 law enforcement that showed up. How the fuck did things go down the way it did? The school had all of these protocols in place that everything wasn't done the way that it was supposed to or practiced to go. They were like super, like a list of warning signs from this kid that nobody reported, especially from people closest to him? What are you guys' thoughts on the matter?
Well, that's a failure from home. That's a failure of not knowing what's going on with your kid's life or their frame of thought or anything else. And as far as the school, my kid goes through security protocols 90% or lockdowns. They have like emergency lockdowns on practice it time and time again. And I know like I said, it also is because of the district. I'm not in New York no more, so I know it's a lot different. So I'm assuming that all the schools are doing it, but apparently not so. So they have emergency protocols where they lock the door, where to hide the kid, where they should hide behind closed doors, blocking the doors, locking it down. Not for nothing. When we were kids, they did not have this. The most we had was the fire drill.
The tornado
Yeah,
drill.
or like going underneath your table or going underneath your desk and just laying low. We don't have that no more. And like I said, I look at my kids, and now my grandson, when the age that he's gonna grow into, God knows what's gonna be the protocol then. But it starts at home. I always say I'm very big on that. Communication with my children. You have to see where their head is at. If there's bullies, like what is it that went on in this kid's head before he even got his hands on a gun? Like, certain states are a little bit more lax with the security, with the background checks, with all that stuff. Even here, we're in military folk. Let me tell you something. They don't just hand us a gun the minute that you graduate. You're not even in the line of work. You have to have training. You have to have a place where it's locked up. There's so many like if we were to have, we can't even have one here unless we register it with security forces, which is our police on base. We have to have so many protocols that, they need a backtrack. Okay, so if so-and-so has a gun in his house, if something should happen, they're going to his house. They're knocking on his door. Don't
say your city, but what state you in? Where you at?
I'm in Jersey. There's only one place in where I'm at, so that's why I said I'd rather not. But no, I've talked about it before, and I'm not ashamed because what? Not for nothing, my husband worked his ass off to get to where we're at. Yes, I'm in Jersey, but like I said, I'm across the bridge from New York, born and bred in the Bronx. Okay, and I've witnessed things in my city. I've seen things that I hear, or or kids bringing show and tell on the low stuff from home. So this is what I'm saying. Not for nothing, why wasn't it locked up? Who did he get this weapon from? There's so many questions that I have that they really haven't really answered. But again, I'm one to trying to lay off the news reports because you got false media. You got false
all day.
Apparently, he was allowed to purchase the gun.
Well, wasn't he 18?
Yeah, I mean, from what I read, I believe they said that he purchased the gun. The gun was purchased, or did he take it? I know they said the gun was purchased. I don't know if he purchased it, but they said it was recently purchased. So maybe it was a member. Chris, I know you at work. You want to say what you feel on the matter and how it, you have two young children at home. How you feel?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not from Florida, so everybody know that. But I just work here. Basically, the one in El Rado, Texas, that to me was unprofessional and a high risk of liability when it came to kids. I don't know. I'm not from out here. And so basically, from my point of view, is me having two little ones, I would have did exactly what the Border Patrol policeman did. When he got the phone call from his wife that they were trapped in the school, my man wasted no time, threw a shotty in the car, went over there, bypassed all police officers, went into school, and aired homeboy out with no questions asked. I would have did the same thing. Because I'm sorry, but there's no way.
That's how you do it. I'm sorry, but that's right here. That's right
There's
here.
no way.
Holding you back.
There's no way. There's no way that I'm gonna sit here and I'm at work or I'm at home and my wife is texting me talking about I'm underneath a table and there's a kid running around killing the kids. Nah, I'm not waiting for the police. I'm gonna go and blast his head off. Because at the end of the day, my kids come first, my wife come first, and my life come first. Everything else is second. So at the end of the day, you know, I feel like what they did was, El Rado, Texas just showed how racist they are towards people of color. Because if you didn't see it, the whole police task force came in, and they were there was not one there was not one colored person there. Everybody was you know, and
Losing.
so for me,
We're losing you. We're losing you.
so huh?
We're losing you. All we heard was there wasn't one person of color there, and then after that, it just went
Can you hear me?
retarded.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm saying is, I just feel like how El Rado, Texas, was treated was that the police of that county looked at it as, okay, some kids are predominantly brown, and our task force is predominantly white, and look how long they took to you know, go into the school and you know, reconciliate the situation. They didn't do that. They were procrastinating on how to make a plan to get into the school. It took one man to get a phone call from home to assess to the situation. How did it take a whole county of officers and a sheriff to still stand outside debating on whether to go inside or not? And there's kids, little babies dying. So
Well, you gotta think about it. The people in uniform, they got a protocol they gotta do. Race or not, because I'm gonna dismiss that only because there are good officers out there. Race or not.
of course.
So
Of course.
so beyond the race issue, people of uniform can't do what civilians can. We don't have that. We don't have that shit. So we walk up in that bitch and handle our business. Period. They have protocol though. They can't. They can only do so much or whatever without being, you know, whatever. They gotta follow shit. Which that's to anyone that has a job. You're supposed to follow suit. But yeah, I get what you're saying. They should have just did what they had to do. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, emergency calls for acting accordingly. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? But
So there's mass chaos too. You have mass chaos when you don't follow certain protocols. And as far as like police,
and there's always going to be somebody that talks some shit against that. Oh, they knew they should have just waited. They should have. Okay, so when they did, don't complain.
And
You know
that's
what I'm saying? There's always somebody that got something to say.
you have as many fucking drills.
No, I get it.
When real shit happens, people, you know, tend to forget everything that they learned. It's just, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And it's tough, man.
No, I get
Everybody
it.
knows there's always
I get it.
everything happens for a reason. There was a reason why it was that man and not one of them that stepped in, handled that, and got that.
No, I understand.
There's a reason for everything. We don't know what it is, but there's a reason.
And I understand completely, and I'm not trying to knock the police because my uncle was an ex-cop, and I get it. There are some good ones out there, but you have to understand the reason why I sit there was because when I had a conference, you know,
my nigga, why you just didn't do it when he was out of work, cuz? Because maybe wherever he's out of work, he has some better signal.
I had the good service for a minute though.
He knows the deal. Should definitely be heard.
yeah.
But
My connection is good.
I have an interesting question though.
Go ahead, cuz. What's up? Let us know.
I want to know what you guys think. All right. So I've always said that someone who kills has an underlying psychiatric issue for you to I mean, unless it's you in self-defense for you to want to go out and kill, do you think there's an underlying psychiatric problem? Or do you feel like bullying can just take you to that point? Because I do know people who have been bullied like the worst.
Listen, I kill people every day in my head. I kill people every day, right up here. So psychologically, maybe it's a thing, because I'm a little touched. So I kill people every day, right here. but to physically go out and do that, yeah. I mean, you don't know what is gonna be that last final straw. It could be the fork that fell on the floor and you just snapped, bro. You don't know what's that final straw from the bullying. We don't know what the boy really went through, except for whatever the boy decided to indulge,
And he could never speak for himself either. So that's the whole thing, right? So you have these mass hysteria stuff. So you have, oh, he was bullied, he was that. I'm not defending this kid, okay? Because if that was my baby or any of my babies, you understand? I cried when I saw that, just like everyone else in the world that saw the news. And they're babies. They're from elementary school all the way up. So those are those schools that have everything all in one, right? In the suburbia area. So I live in the suburbia area. So I look at that, I'm like,
young kids and high school kids should go to school together, but I know it happens a lot of schools like that.
Yeah.
So you have kids that, like I said, you got to speak to your children. You have to see where their head is at, who they're hanging out with. I had to tell my mother who is who, what is what, who's on my phone, what. Listen, I will gladly pick up my son's phone right now and tell me who's this, this, and this, and who's the mama, who's their dad, what do they do, where do they, like, simple conversations. I'm very big. Yasmin knows this. I'm very big with my children as far as communication. It goes both ways. I have my son who's, he has a little boy. He's going to be 1 in November. So he looks at it like, I'm raising a young man into this world over there in the Bronx. He's still in the Bronx. So I said, you have to have a frame of mind of how you're going to raise your child. You have to put into, like I said, you have to feed these young minds. But if you're always, oh, no, don't worry about it, I'll talk to you later, or brushing them off and not hearing, who knows what this kid was telling his parents? Who knows that what he's going through? I'm not defending this kid. Let me tell you something. But something was wrong with him.
Yeah.
That no one saw coming.
Because if you look at the facts, he didn't go kill any of his bullies. These little kids had nothing to do with it. They were all completely innocent. So
see, I don't have the outlets like whatever I get, like when I get news, I get it through Facebook. So right now that we're speaking about it is literally the first that I'm hearing about it. I don't know about it. Yeah. I don't know about what's going on. So I'm trying to touch on a subject that
you heard about it, though, right? You heard about it in general, though, right? No, you didn't hear about that at all?
Period. Like this literally is the first time I'm hearing about it. So I'm trying to get a perspective. I'm trying to get a perspective of both sides of what it could possibly be, whatever. So now hearing you guys talk, I'm learning. I'm learning what it is. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, so that's what happened to the boy? Well, fuck. And that's what he did? Well, damn. Okay. So I didn't know.
That's homeboy.
Oh wow. Okay. I've seen his face. I've seen his face come across Facebook, but I just kind of kept on scrolling.
My
fault.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Hold on. Individuals close to the perpetrator, they knew of many warning signs he displayed, as he had no criminal history prior to the shooting. Apparently, the motive was a desire for notoriety of fame. According to the report, those interviewed by the committee, including the family and friends, they reported so many red flags that nobody reported. He exhibited almost every warning sign. School officials identified him as at risk and academically by third grade due to consistently poor test results. From the third grade, the suspects fourth grade teacher told the committee she was aware that he needed special help and claimed to be a victim of bullying. She met with the mom and believed he had ultimately a good year. The suspect's family, however, disputed this account, saying the classmates bullied him over his stutter, clothing, short haircut. Some family members also said that some of the teachers picked on the suspect and his cousin. Notes found the alleged shooter's phone indicated that he was bullied. Beginning in 2018, he had bad attendances, more than 100 absences. Hello. He also had failing grades.
See, no, that's
I think
failure.
what kills me now. I think what kills me now is just the fact of the difference of our generations. Like, I grew up. Listen, we've had bullying growing up. None of that made us shooters. You know what I'm saying? Like, it built our character. It made us stronger out here. We didn't turn into shooters. So I feel like at this point, you can only say bullying and everything for so long. But at the end of the day, it's its own individual and who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but it's also a parental failure.
When friends were aware of his efforts to buy guns before he was old enough to do so, he asked them to buy him guns. None of the suspect's online behavior was ever reported. He stated online that he wanted to kill people. He would post suicides and beheadings, red flags all over the place. Nobody said nothing. He shot his grandmother before he went to the school.
Like, right before?
Yeah. Same day.
Before he left the house, because over a phone bill, apparently. He shot her and then he went straight to the school.
Yeah, what he needed was a good ass open. I'm sorry, because that saves lives. Because heaven forbid, for a phone bill, you would have got the chancleta, the belt, the spoon, the
It's not even like for me, but if all these red flags were prior, then that's a parental failure. If you know that there's something going on with your child, whether it's bullying, whether it's writing, like, you know, they draw little stick figures, shooting stuff, the littlest thing, like I said, is a parental failure. I'm sorry. I don't care what anyone says. For me, as a parent.
But when do you know? Here's the thing. When do you know as a parent? Because I think of all these things. I am the morbid one of my family. I draw fucking death all the time. I do all types of... As a kid, I was that fucked up kid that did all types of shit. I'm a Puerto Rican mother of 4 that stays at home, been married for 20-some years. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, like, I don't understand. When do you know that that's a sign or that's just a talent? You know what I'm saying? When do you know that
it's a generational, but it's a generational thing, right? Like you said, when we were kids, we didn't have, but now the kids are like, it's okay to feel this way. It's okay. There's a lot of communication.
The more you bottle up, the worse you get. So to express it and let it out, how do you know when that's a red flag or compared to that's a coping, let him or her get it out, and then it doesn't become this? When do you really chip in? Because, you know, at some point too, any authority, whether it's a parent or teacher or even a family friend or whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter. Anybody that's not in your bracket, you know what I'm saying, is considered damn near an authority to you. So that can either hinder and make you feel more closed off, or can make, you know what I'm saying, or can make you open up. How do you know, you know what I'm saying, when to do, what to say, how to do it without it being something that could be a trigger for them to close off and get worse? How do you know? You don't. So it's like, that's the thing, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. We as parents, and that's how, as a parent, I talk to my kids, all three generations, and they're 3 different generations. Like I said, I have one who's already a parent of himself. He's 22 years old. I got a 17-year-old who's out in the military. He's going to be 18 in like a month. You got the young one who's going to be 15 by next year. They're all, you know, he's the last of the Mohicans and he's going into high school. So what is, like you said, what is it? What are the red flags? Hey, communication. If you pick up, I'm sorry. My mama taught me to go through my kids' stuff and look through their phone, through their books. They're, you know, just kind of like if they're just drawings. What's this about, bro? Mom, you looking through my shit? Yeah, I am looking through your shit. And guess what? And I will do it again. And I will continue. Whether your messages. I have every facet. He doesn't even know, but I tell you, I got his Snapchat, his face, anything that that kid has, I have access to. Yes. Because you know what? I will not let someone else influence my child.
No.
Or think that way without being in that way. Like people have their vision of military and police and this and that. Where's the failure? That right there, what happened in Uvalde, that was a failure on whoever was around that kid. Teachers, therapists. Because you know what? Why wasn't he in therapy? The minute that I see something's off or he's so closed off and they don't want to have conversations, he shot his grandmother.
Yeah.
I don't know what his living situation was.
Like the family just completely fucking retards on that. Right?
Well, what do we
That
say
was,
about the
like I
ones?
said,
What do we say about the ones that had everything, that had nothing to ask for, that lived the good life, that they were raised right, that nothing was wrong, they weren't even bullied, and decided to go ahead and do that? What do we say? See, so it's so we could be like it's from home, it's from this, it's from that. But this is where my argument of it's individual.
Yeah.
That's where my argument comes from, because I was a friend of some, like literally it was, well, okay, today is the 21st. So from today, I want to say I just found out about a good 3.5 weeks ago, one of my best friends, they're locked up. They're locked up, they're gone. Because they messed around and they blasted their baby mama in the face. Nigga, been knowing you for how many years? When does that? It turns into individual. How? Because there was no red flags. Nothing. Not even a fight at the house. Not a oh, this happens behind closed doors, what you didn't know. No, nothing. Where do you know? You don't. So
you
it's
don't,
like,
and that's where the training goes in. So now teachers are starting to get trained on the red flags,
okay.
their seclusions. That we didn't have that when we were growing up, but
That's why.
now
That's why I
this
didn't
generation.
think shootings happened before, but because I guess it's because it's become so increasingly normal for it to happen. It happens more and more often. Now they just like, listen, we gotta do this.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
Like, because they look at it as a whole. When one thing happens in America, all the schools start getting, hey, listen, are our protocols correct? Are we looking at they talk so much to my kids. Let me tell you something. Now, if we were back in the Bronx, back in the city, back wherever, I don't know if my kid would have that education or not. But apparently, you know, from what I hear, they do. They have these open conversations. They have like moments of silence for whenever the stuff happens for the kids every year. Or there's these things. But like I said, we are from a different generation. We got that chancla. We knew to stay up and to do things right by our school career. You
I'm
understand?
mad that the way that she said that brought back memories real quick.
No, but it's the truth. Let me tell
I
you
just
something.
had a
If I
whole
got out of
flashback. I'm
line,
so sorry.
Jasmine knows my mom. My mom is a little lady, but guess what? I was scared of that little lady. I did not play like with her. I don't play with her to this day. I'm a grown-ass adult.
My mother used to catch
Why
me in the
is that all of our mamas were like this little fucking short shit? You could punt her like a football, but you was like, fuck that. She'll come
The
back at the
fear.
death and kill me. Like,
Yep.
it's just, yeah, like.
the Uvalde, the parents of the slain and all the parents in general, they actually have petitioned for the school district chief of police to be fired. They actually still just a few hours ago they're still debating on what to do. But they want him fired because they feel like he didn't follow protocol and he didn't handle things the way they should have been handled. And you know how it goes, especially with grieving people. Somebody has to have the blame.
Has to pay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the man feels like he
something.
feels
Something. Don't talk for him because you don't really know. So something. He feels something.
I'm just saying, yeah. Imagine just I could put myself in the other shoes. Imagine just being that official and this happened under your watch. This happened under your county and you weren't able to stop it or you know, have less of a casualty. I could imagine feeling fucked up for that. I mean, if you have a good conscience.
And you could see that we could have a bunch of protocols. They could have a bunch of drills because that's what they do now, right? Lockdown drills. They have all this type of stuff. But look, they still happen. So this is where I say, where do we stop it? It start for me, it starts at the home, right? You just kind of always have these open communications. Something's going on. Like, are you okay? Like, you mad quiet today. You all right? Like, do you want to talk? Like, my son sometimes I don't want to talk, but he talks to me anyway. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for me, it has to start in the home. But of course, with school, they got these trainings, and I'm all for it. You send this teacher to get training. Send these counselors to get real training, not just this derived type of training. You understand? I want something that you understand what's going on in the child's mind. You understand that? And this is the thing. This is the reality for our teachers, because I know plenty of teachers too.
Right.
And, you know, they could say when they got that diploma and they first started being a teacher, they never dreamed that they would have all this extra stuff they have to learn.
Did you see it was an old post, so it had to be at least sometime last year or something like that, where now they're making it so that, well, at least wherever that post was from, in that place, they're making it so that teachers now carry. Teachers now carry. That way.
I don't know about carrying themselves, because let me tell you something. Some of these kids are bad little effers. You understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't want a teacher carrying anything.
And let that teacher be the one that's a little touch. You'd be like, see, damn it, now we done hooked her up. But